Hi, in this video we are going to practice asking yes/no questions. What are they? I will show you in a moment. The objective is, of course, to ask yes/no questions in the present simple tense. Let's talk about yes/no questions. Yes/no questions are questions that require a yes or a no as an answer. Just that. Yes or no. So you could answer to that question just with a simple yes or no. Let's see the structure for questions that have the verb be or the auxiliary be as the main verb in the sentence. The structure is the auxiliary, in that case be, then we have the subject, and then we have the complement, whatever we need for the complement, and all questions end with a simple question mark at the end, not at the beginning, at the end. Let's say that the auxiliary is usually counted as the question mark, the introductory question mark. For example, we say, are you free this afternoon? Are is the auxiliary, you is the subject, and then we have the complement, free this afternoon. Or, is your aunt is the subject, is the auxiliary, and then we have, is your aunt Amanda? That is the whole subject. Is your aunt Amanda at home? Is like saying, is she at home? All right. That is with the verb be. But we don't talk only with the verb be. We may have any other verb. With other verbs, the structure is this, auxiliary, and then we have subject-verb complement, which is the structure for the affirmative sentences. So this is very easy. The auxiliary, and then subject-verb complement, and then the question mark at the end. For example, do you play soccer? Do is the auxiliary because we're talking about you. The question is addressed to you, the second person. Do you? The verb is play, and that play goes in the base form, remember? And then we have the complement, which is soccer. Let's see a longer subject. Does your family, so the auxiliary is does because we're talking about your family, a third person, which is in that case a group, a unity. Does your family, in American English, that is considered singular. In British English, it's considered plural, so that's why they would say, do your family. So don't get confused. Just in American English, it's does your family live, that is the verb in the base form because the S was added to the auxiliary, remember? Does your family live in a house or in an apartment? Do we have classes in December? Do we have classes in December? So that do is the auxiliary, we is the subject, and then the verb in the base form, and then the complement, and the question mark at the end. All right, that's all we have to remember about yes/no questions. And for that, for us to remember that, we have this simple practice activity. All you have to do here is just complete the following sentences, which is the following questions, with the appropriate auxiliary. Okay, they are all questions. So what auxiliary do we use? A form of be, do, or does. Look at them, think about the answers, pause my video, and complete the activity, and I'll show you the answers in a moment. All right, thank you very much for having completed the activity, and let me show you the answers. Here they are. Does your family go on vacation every year? In British English, that would be do your family, but in American English, does your family. Is your mother an engineer? Do your cousins come to visit on holidays? Do, because your cousins is plural. Are your siblings, means your brothers and sisters, nice? Does your father work at the mall? Do you like to have cereal for breakfast? Do you like to have cereal for breakfast? You do. All right, good. I hope that your answers are all correct. And with that in mind, I'm going to ask you to complete another activity. It says, you have to organize your classmates according to things that they and their relatives have in common. Okay. Depending on what they have in common, you have to put them into groups. All right. That is a task. Write 6 yes/no questions for a survey. A survey is one list of questions that they have to complete for you to collect some data, some information about them. Write 6 yes/no questions for a survey. that you could use for that purpose. All right, so you're gonna ask them questions, and then depending on the questions, you're gonna classify them, put them into groups. All right, let me show you some sample answers in a moment, but first I want you to pause my video, complete your answers, and then I'll show you those answers that a student wrote. All right, pause my video, complete the activity, please. All right, thank you. I hope that you did complete the activity. And here are some sample questions for that survey. Are you a morning person? It's a person that likes the morning. Is your sister in kindergarten? Does your mother work from home? Yes. Does your brother like dogs? So depending on what they answer, you're going to put them into groups. Do you go to the movies on weekends? Do you like to go out with your friends on weekends? Yes, no. All they have to answer is yes, no, and that's going to be enough for you to organize them into groups. Now, I am going to pause my video so that you can practice your pronunciation. Listen, practice, please.
Are you a morning person? Is your sister in kindergarten? Does your mother work from home? Does your brother like dogs? Do you go to the movies on weekends? Do you like to go out with your friends on weekends?
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. And remember that in this lesson, we reviewed the way to ask questions in general, and specifically, we're focusing on yes-no questions with be and with other verbs. Thank you very much for having completed this activity, and I will see you in the next video.